let's go ahead and start in an easy cross-legged position. And you can see here, or maybe you can't blow that away, but I have a blanket that I've rolled up. And I really like to sit in a blanket when I'm in a cross-legged position because it tips my pelvis forward, allowing me to have access to a taller back. So if you feel that you're struggling a little bit in this seated position, it is actually quite difficult to sit on the floor for extended periods of time, then I invite you to sit on a blanket, sit on a pillow, whatever you got at home, and that might create some more ease in the pose. So resting the hands comfortably on the thighs, we'll just take a big breath in and let it out through the mouth. We'll take another few quiet breaths. I want to give a few gentle instructions. So as you breathe with the eyes closed, we kind of remove a layer of distraction so we can really settle in. What I'd like you to focus on is imagining there are 3 rings in the body. The ring around the crown, the ring around the ribs, and the ring around the hips. And as you close your eyes, standing or seated even, you feel those rings come into alignment. So the ribs sort of nestle and hover just above the hips. The crown hovers just above the ribs. And then what you can do with your shoulders is just roll them up to the ears. Sometimes it helps to clench a little bit, just a little extra emphasis. And then on the exhale, glide the shoulder blades down the back. Let the arms be heavy. With the eyes closed, we'll start to make big rotations with the rib cage as we start to circle the midsection. So imagine, if you'll forgive the metaphor, that you're using your rib cage, you're stuck inside a giant jar of peanut butter and you're trying to scrape the peanut butter off the edges of the jar. You're welcome. And you do it slow, and you start modestly, just feeling your way through, and then start to extend the ribs in all points as you make rotations. Nice and easy. I'd like to say there's not really a wrong way to do this. So you're going to feel your sits bones rolling around, you're going to feel your hips shift. You can even add in the neck, creating some length in the upper cervical spine. Just flow with it. Just follow the good sensations and tease them out a little bit. A few quiet breaths. Soft jaw, soft palate, maybe an easy smile on the lips, whatever floats your boat. We'll gently redirect, moving our circles in the opposite direction, scraping up all that peanut butter from the other side. Deep, even breath. You hear me talk a lot about breathing in, breathing out, and I'll go into further detail in some of my YouTube videos, but breath is really important actually. It's the cornerstone to your yoga practice, and very often in our daily lives we forget to breathe deeply. And so even a practice of just sitting and breathing, filling the capacity of your lungs and slowly letting the breath out can be a really beneficial practice. It can kind of help reinvigorate, it can de-stress, also boost immunity. So keep that in mind as we move through. Let your torso settle back at center. Inhale, sweep the arms up, interlace the fingers and press the palms up to the sky. Then level your chin so it's parallel to the ground. And then imagine you're stretching the outer edge of the armpit, just pushing the palms up. You'll notice the ribs will jut out a little bit, so use your abdominals to pull them back in without losing that openness of the shoulders. And then trying to keep your thumbs sort of behind the head. Bend the elbows, pull the elbows apart, and drag the hands behind the head. Palms are still facing up. This is a deep shoulder opener. Take a few breaths here. Inhale, press the palms up to the sky. Lean a little to the right. I don't know what that looks like on my screen. Rights and lefts are really hard, so I'm sorry if that's confusing. Up and over to the other side. Generally speaking, as long as you get both sides, we're good. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, let the arms float all the way back. Bow the chin to the chest and sweep ear to shoulder, chin to chest, ear to shoulder. Imagine you're drawing a little half circle across the chest. Keep the shoulders nice and low. I'm working a lot on neck and shoulders these days because I do believe that stress can be contained and packed into that upper part of the spine. So we just want to give a second to pay attention to it before we move through our practice. Couple more sweeps. This should feel really good, so just enjoy. And then lowering the chin to the chest. Raise the face. Unbind those legs, give them a little shake. They may be a little stiff from being in a cross-legged position. You can give a little love to your kneecaps. I'm going to remove the blanket out from under me because it helps my fold when my seat is flat. But by all means, if you find, again, that you're a little tight in the hamstrings, can't quite sit flat, use that blanket. Totally fine. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, try and lay your navel down on your lap as you reach forward. And then take a little breath in. Flatten the back. Lift up halfway. Stretch the spine through the crown of the head. So it's like the head is pulling the spine out of the hips. And then exhale, fold a little bit deeper. Try to keep the back of the neck nice and open. Plant the hands, inhale, roll up. We'll sweep it onto our backs just for a brief little warm up. So coming onto your back, we're going to raise the feet so the calves are parallel to the ground. And then you're going to cross the right thigh on top of the left and try your best like you're squeezing something between the outer calves. If you have the space in your legs, go ahead and hook that right toe under the left calf. If that's not happening for you, don't worry, it's not essential. Bring the arms up, palms face each other. We're going to cross the right arm underneath the left and pull the straight left arm across the chest. Try and re-anchor the shoulders onto the ground. Again, if you have the space, you can re-wrap, bring the hands together, coming into bind. Wherever you are, anchor the shoulders, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, crunch the abdominals, bring the knees and elbows together. Inhale, release. Exhale, pull it in, tight little ball, and release. Bring it in, release. That right thigh is really warming up, bring it in, release. Last one, bring it in and hold. Try and push the low spine down into the mat. And exhale, unbind. Let the feet come down to the mat. Let the arms rest. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, mouth. Decompress. Engage the abdominals. Try and anchor the small of the back into the mat. Level the calves to the ground. Then crossing the left leg over. Hooking the toe or not. Arms come up. This time the left arm comes underneath the right. We hook the arm across the chest, or we find that bind. Anchor into the shoulders. Big breath in. Exhale, squeeze and bring the knees and elbows together. Release on the inhale. Squeeze and release. Squeeze, release. I hope we're still friends after this. Squeeze, release. Last one. Squeeze and hold. And release. Let the arms go. Uncross the legs. Plant the feet. Good. Bring the right arm up. Lift up head and shoulders and tuck the right arm behind the back, so that the palm is somewhere behind head, neck, or back. Then lower down and let the head rest on the arm. Left arm out to the side, palm up. Lower the knees one by one over to the left and feel a deep twist and stretch across the right side body. Take a breath or two here. Try and release and relax that right elbow so it just drops down to the mat. Inhale, right leg comes up, then the left. Reset the hips, lift up the head, release the right arm out to the side. Inhale, head up, bring the left hand behind the back just like you did before. And then one by one, so we're nice to our low back, we bring the knees over to the right. Feel a nice deep twist in the shoulder area, as well as the side body on the left. Inhale, left leg rises, followed by the right. Lift up the head and release the arms. Feel that nice diffusion after you let go of that arm line. That can be a pretty powerful stretch. We'll hug the knees in, let the back get heavy, let it anchor into the mat, shoulders and tailbone. And then do your best. Let this be fun. We have too much seriousness in the world today. Just rock up and down the spine. And then come on up to a seat. We'll roll around and come into downward dog. Again, down dog, we want the feet somewhere close together. Spread out the hands. And what I'd like you to do is when you're down dog, you have your middle finger, your index finger pointing towards the top of the mat. Let's fan it out so that that V shape between index and thumbs are pointed towards the top of the mat. And then look at your inner elbow creases, rotate them forwards, squeeze the biceps, broaden the upper back, and drive the mat away with the hands. We get a nice opening in the shoulders this way. If the hamstrings are still fairly tight, you can keep the knees softly bent. Otherwise, start to drive the heels back and down as you push the top of the mat away. Pitch the hips forward, lifting the tailbone, and let the head hang. And then to warm up the shoulders, inhale, we lift to tiptoes like water. We roll the body forward into plank, set the heels back, tone the thighs, broaden the upper back. And then bring it back down dog. Then at your own pace, a few breaths, you can close the eyes and then no one will see you. Roll it back and forth. Plank pose to down dog. Start to feel the heat build a little in the shoulders, the thighs and the abdominals, the controlling components of this transition. Keep the breath even. And then here we'll pause. Set the heels back, we're in plank pose. Inhale and plank, fill the space behind you. Exhale, shift forward, lower down to the belly. Untuck the toes, interlace the fingers behind the back, drag the knuckles down, anchor into the top of the pelvis, the top of the toes, and just give a little lift to the chest and face. Deep breath. And exhale, release. Plant the hands next to you. Press yourself up and back into child's pose. Child's pose, we can really make it work for our shoulders and neck. So what you can do is steeple the fingers, maybe even broaden the knees apart a little bit. Bow the head and keep the arms lifted off of the mat. Spider crawl the fingers towards the top of the mat without having to lift your seat. So you know you've gone far enough. If your seat feels like it's lifting up, keep the hips down. Deep breath here. And planting the hands, look at the thumbs, rise up to knees, tuck toes, drive the hips back, downward dog. Bend the knees, look at the thumbs, and tiptoe your way to the top of the mat in a forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, lift the tail, flatten the back, lengthen the neck. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, bring the arms up, gather at the sky. Palms come together, we land them at the heart. Take a deep breath here. And then lower the arms, palms face forward. Notice your thumbs. We want to rotate, externally rotate the arms so the thumbs are peeling back. Keep that nice rotation and then stretch the fingers as far open and wide as you can. All the way up to the sky. Feel that nice stretch across the inner arms. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. We'll send the right leg back, keeping the left foot just where it is. Bend in the left knee, so we create this nice 90-degree shape. And then push the back of the right thigh up to the sky. Present the heart and face forward as you drive the right heel back. Feel the tone in the right leg. And then start to walk your way towards the long edge of the mat. Pivot the toes so that both toes are facing the long edge. Hands underneath the chest. Inhale, lift up, flatten the back, lift the tail. Exhale, forward fold. Aim the crown of the head down towards the mat. Tone the legs by stepping into the feet a little bit more and lift your tailbone. All of a sudden you feel hamstrings start to light up. Inhale, walk it back to a flat back. Then walk yourself around to frame the right foot. We come into this runner's lunge. Press the heel back. Lift the face. Chest forward. Nice bend, 90-degree bend in the knee. And then step deep into the right foot. You're going to be facing a weird side of the mat. Don't panic. Step into a forward fold. Inhale, roll all the way up to standing. Arms rise up. Exhale, bring it down, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen, flatten the back. Exhale, fold. We'll send that left leg back again, coming to the same side, runner's lunge. Then we're going to pivot the foot to face the long edge of the mat. Step deep into the right foot and come into warrior two, but bring the hands to the hips. Take a breath and then find a little more depth in that front knee. Because our legs are asymmetrical, we want to make an adjustment with the hips. So we want to slide the left hip down, pull the right hip up, and notice how that accesses the right leg. Bring the arms out. Wrap the left arm behind the back. If your fingers reach a hip crease, great. If not, just grab onto your pants. Lower the right elbow to the knee. If you have a little more space, you can bring the arm inside of the right foot. Here, I want us to peel the left shoulder back, but to stretch the neck, let's look down and pull the left ear and left shoulder apart. Breathe deeply, find tone in that right leg, and then start to straighten the right leg. Hand can stay on the mat, or you can bring the right hand to the shin. Peel back in the left shoulder, and then release that left arm straight up to the sky, triangle pose. Try to bloom the hips open towards the long edge of the mat. Lengthen the neck. Create one line down from the crown of the head to the pelvis. Bend in the right knee. Rise back to warrior two. Inhale, arms come up. Both toes pivot to face the long edge of the mat. And then like you're doing press-ups, squeeze and drag the elbows down towards the side body. Feel the chest broaden. And then inhale as you extend the arms up, bend in the knees. Then do it again. Drag the elbows down to the side body, straighten the legs. Inhale, reach up, bend deeply. One more, drag. Bend deeply. Then open the arms, look to your left, pivot the left toes, and shift into warrior two. Good. Windmill the hands to frame the foot. Plant the hands and step back into down dog. Here we're going to take 3 to 5 breaths. We can do down dog, child's pose, or if you're looking for heat, we'll move through this vinyasa sequence of plank pose, chaturanga, up dog, and downward dog. Big breath in down dog. Let it out through the mouth. Bend the knees, look at the thumbs. Walk your way to a forward fold. In your forward fold, root into the feet. Squeeze the thighs together. Rise up to standing. Arms gather up the sky. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Flatten the back. Exhale, fold. Keep the right foot just where it is. Send the left foot back long. Come into that same runner's lunge. I'm going to switch sides so you can see me better. As you reach the heart and face forward, reach the opposite direction with the heel. And then start to walk your way to a wide-legged forward fold. This time, options are keeping the hands just as they are and folding the best you can, or bringing the peace fingers to the big toes, lifting up flat back. Exhale, pull the elbows apart as you reach the crown down. Whatever option you choose, make sure to keep the legs toned and knees slightly soft. Inhale, lift up to a flat back, release the toes. We'll walk around towards the left foot, coming into a runner's lunge at left. Present heart and face, heel presses back. Then set the right foot, rise into warrior two with the hands at the hips. So again, we adjust the hips. Drag the right hip down, pull the left hip up, rebend in the left knee. Maintain the tone of the legs, bring the arms out, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. Light arms, strong legs. Wrap the right hand behind you. If the fingers reach that left hip crease, great. If not, just back of the hand to the back of the hips. Elbow to knee, or fingertips to inner foot. Wherever you go, if you feel that you're folding forward when your hand is down by the foot, bring it up to the elbow so you can have more control of the pose. Peel back in the right shoulder and look down. Don't forget to keep the tone in the right leg. Belly is strong. Keep looking down. Send the hips to the right as you straighten the left leg by driving into the left toe mound. Release the right arm up to the sky, triangle pose. Tone your right leg and try to open the hips to face the long edge of the mat. One line from crown to hips. Little bit of space in the left knee. A lot of pressure in the left big toe mound. Bend in the left knee, rise back up, warrior two. Inhale, arms come up, we set our toes forwards. This time we bring our hands behind our back, cup elbows. If this isn't working for you, little monkey grip, or wrists or forearms, walk your hands as close as you can. Legs are wide, legs are toned. Hinge forward. Keep pulling the elbows back as the head reaches down. Release the arms. Set the hands underneath the chest. Here, we're going to get a little bit weird. We're We're going to take our right arm and we'll thread it underneath to grab anywhere on the outside of the left leg. And if it's not reaching, step the feet in closer together until you can. Then we want to walk the left fingertips as far forward and away from you as you can. Bend in the right elbow and rotate the body towards the left leg. Round the back and tuck the chin. A little different than we're used to in these cues. We want to create broadness across the upper back. Release and switch sides. Right fingertips reach far and away. Left hand to outside of left leg. Bend in the left elbow. Rotate the body towards the right leg. And round the upper back, tuck the chin. Release. Bring the hands underneath the chest. Bend the knees, hands to hips, rise up to standing. And then look at your right, pivot, come to warrior two. Inhale here. Exhale, windmill to frame the foot, back to the lunge we go. Hands plant, 3 options. Stepping straight back to down dog. Child's pose. Or move through your vinyasa. Inhale deeply in downward dog. Exhale, mouth. Lower the knees wide. Touch the toes together. Come into child's pose. Steeple the fingers. Let the forehead rest on the ground. Breathe into the sides of the body. The rib cage. The upper back. The waist. Slowly roll up. We'll come to a comfortable seat. This can be cross-legged, this can be on knees. Place the hands on the thighs. Close the eyes and feel the chin level to the earth. Soften the shoulders. Return to the idea or the visualization of the 3 rings of the body. Head, ribs, and hips. Let the body sway and naturally align these 3 rings, keeping the chest open, the lungs open, shoulders soft. Eyes are closed, the skin around the eyelids are soft. The jaw is soft and the palate of the mouth is heavy. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Palms come together. We draw the thumbs to the heart. Anjali Mudra. Taking a few breaths here to close your practice. After this session, you are more than welcome to lay on your back in a comfortable Shavasana. Taking your time to close the practice, to feel the echo of the movements we've made together linger in the body. Thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.